My name is Mickey, and today we're going to be doing a little 1-2. Today we're going to be spicing it up, trying something a little bit different. I'm going to be putting on my baker's apron and constructing a nice, cute little cake, but it's not going to be your average usual. So I'm going to be doing a birthday cake with an Oreo theme. This was something that somebody requested, a friend of mine. Happy birthday, Ray. He's like, well, I don't really care what you do with it, but I don't want a whole cake. I don't need no whole cake. Just give me like a little half joint. I say, you know what? I got you. So today we are going to be constructing a half cake, like a literal half cake, like cut it down the middle, half cake. This is something that I've never done before. I've seen a couple of examples. I've seen like different creators also do this type of cake, and I've been intrigued at the challenge. So I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna do so with this Oreo cake, and we're gonna see what comes about. I'm very excited. I think that it'll be a good little challenge to begin cancer season with. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Okay, that's me. That's me. So boom, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I already have my cake done. I already have my icing done. I just wanted to give y'all a little sneak peek into my baking corner of the chaotic kitchen. So sit back, relax. You ain't gotta take no notes today. We finna just vibe out. Okay, we finna just chill, get your snacks, get, if you want to take notes, you can. You don't have to. This ain't that type of session today, okay? Just enjoy the show, okay? Come on, let's go.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna be completely honest. I was not gonna post this, but
Ooh.
any content is good content, and somebody DM me and said they wanted to see me do some more baking. So here we are. This is something, like I said, I've never done before. I was pretty excited because like I like a good challenge. Like I love to be introduced to new ideas, and especially when it's for somebody, because I like to get that feedback. Now, I was kind of skeptical because seeing the other creators do this, they did it completely different. And I didn't want to go about making a whole cake and then trying to cut it because I just thought that was a little bit too much. So I went the hard route. I went and I baked my cake just normal. And I decided that before I constructed it, I was going to cut my layers in half. So this is what you see me doing. I'm trying to make sure that all my lines are even. As much as possible, because I mean you can't really tell until they're cut if they are even. So I'm doing my best. And then once I felt confident in my lines, I just went straight for the cutting. You can do this a couple of different ways. Like I said, I've seen people layer the cake first and then just cut it down the middle, but I would have felt like I was wasting cake. So I did it this way. I'm all for doing a little extra grunt work if it means that I can gain experience. So I didn't feel a way about this process at all. It is a little more lengthy in time, but you do what you got to do in the baking corner. So once I cut my layers, I made sure that they were all symmetrical. And then once they were, I went ahead and started stacking them. If they weren't symmetrical, you would really just have to kind of trim the pieces that were not, and then just hope and pray you don't cut off too much. But here we are, we're stacking our cake, and I'm just stacking this like I would stack any other cake. I'm making sure that I use enough buttercream in between the layers so that it's not like really skimp. And then once I finish stacking all of the layers, I add a little bit on the top and on the sides before I lay her down. Now, as a whole, this is an 8-inch round cake. I usually don't do an 8-inch, especially for like one individual, but I just wanted to kind of test the limits a little bit and see what I could do with such a big cake. And like I said, I'm going to treat her like any other cake, but I'm making sure that I treat her with care also because she is a little more fragile considering she's only a half. So I'm going to go in with some plastic dowels, and I did 2 of those. I stuck them in after I laid it down because I felt like it would have been a little easier to do so, but you can do what you want to do in your kitchen. When measuring for the dowels, I kind of measured them a little bit too long. Like you want to make them shorter than the length of the cake because you want them to be hidden in between the layers. So I went in after the dowels and I started adding buttercream into the empty spots between the layers, just so that I could be sure that there weren't any air bubbles. Like when I started to add more icing over the whole cake, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just any airy spots in between. So I covered my top and then I covered my bottom with the same buttercream. This cake, I didn't do like a crumb coat and a final coat. I just did like how much ever was needed, but I did kind of go in thick. Like I wasn't skimp because I wanted to make sure that every piece of the cake was covered. And then I made sure to be very precise with the spatulas and with my bench scraper. Sorry, that was hard for some reason. And I also wanted to take out some of the Oreos that were on the cake just so that I could get a smoother layer of buttercream on there. Depending on the type of cake that you are icing, it is probably helpful to do like a base layer and then refrigerate it and then do a second coat. But since this buttercream is chunky with Oreo chunks in it, I decided to just go with one coat because I didn't want to overdo it, and I thought that it would have just been easier to do one thick coat and then make it really, really like perfect. I definitely went over the cake a countless amount of times with the bench scraper because I wanted to like make sure that all of the pieces were smooth, make sure that I didn't miss any corners, and then like I felt like the more I scraped it, even if icing was being removed, I could see if there were any weak spots that needed more. So don't be scared to overdo it with the bench scraper, don't be scared to overdo it with the spatula. Just do what you gotta do to have a really seamless cake. After all of the corners and crevices are perfected, I always plan to go over my whole cake with a hot spatula just to make sure that it gives a really sleek finish before I add any finishing touches. A hot spatula is literally just that. It's a spatula that I've dipped in boiling water and it goes over and removes any like specks or any like creases or anything, and you can kind of just watch all of the bumps and mistakes slip away. It is probably more efficient to do a hot spatula after you've refrigerated your cake for a little while, but I am only doing this one coat, like I said, so I just did it before. And then after it was refrigerated for like 30 minutes, I went over the whole cake again with the hot spatula. I think it's helpful to do it before because, like you saw, I had to add more buttercream, and I think it would have been a little bit more difficult to add more buttercream after it was been refrigerated because it's two different consistencies, and it's just more easier to do it this way. But y'all know y'all can do what y'all want in y'all kitchen, right? Oh, okay. Just making sure. Since y'all are here, make sure y'all go follow my Instagram and my TikTok pages. They both have the same handle shown here. And then also, if you like what you see today, make sure you go follow my baking page. And if you do nothing else, make sure that you like this video, leave a comment under this video, and then subscribe to my channel. So it's ideal to refrigerate your cake for at least 30 minutes after doing your crumb coat, just because you want to make sure that this coat holds, and when you go in for your second layer, your icing and buttercream might slip and slide, and you never know what's going to stick. So refrigerate it for as long as you can. I feel like 30 minutes to an hour is perfect timing. And then if you are doing a second coat, you don't really need to do a hot spatula on your base, but since I'm not, once again, I just went in and made sure that All of my corners and edges were perfect and rounded. And I know y'all can still see some of the cake on like the edges and the corners, but I ended up putting Oreos over these spots. So I wasn't stressing about it too much. So here I am moving my cake to another board, being extremely careful that I don't accidentally cut the cake with my bench scraper and making sure that I don't slip any of the buttercream off of the corners and the edges. You can also put buttercream on your new sheet if you choose, but I kind of forgot. So I went in with the hot spatula to make sure that my ends were sealed and nothing was looking crazy.
No, I don't think that I want to do. I don't know. Let me do the Oreos first, and then I'll see.
Y'all, when I say I had no direction, like I didn't know what I was about to do to this cake. I literally didn't know how I wanted to decorate it at all. I knew I wanted to write happy birthday on it, but I just wasn't sure about like the whole decorative concept because like how much can you really decorate an Oreo cake? So I kind of just did a little abstract type of vibe here. Um Cut up some pieces, did a little chunk here and there, and we just yeah. I put this line there so I could have a guide on where my writing would go, and this is the finished product. I think it looks really, really cute. As far as me not knowing what to do and then just sprouting with this, I think it's real cute. And here's his reaction.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's hard as hell. Oh wow. Yo, this is tough, man.
She's a big baddie, I will say.
Anyway, y'all, I loved doing this cake. Like, it was extremely delicious and it was so fun to make on top of that.
Houston, we have to take off.
Well, y'all, I hope that y'all like this video. I may come back, maybe not soon, but at one point with another baking video for you guys. And I just hope that you did like this video. So drop a like, make a comment, and also subscribe to my channel. And I will see y'all next week. See y'all later.